All right, folks, breaking news. This is huge. Tina Peters is pardoned by President Donald Trump. I'm going to bring Juan on for a quick update. Folks, this is huge. And will Colorado, specifically the governor, let her go? This could turn out to be a disaster in the making. Who knows? Who knows what can happen from here? The fight is just beginning. 𝗀𝗏, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey there, bro. How you doing?
Man, it looks like your efforts paid off. Juan, you were the one out there pushing for this. I mean, you really did a lot of work on this. I believe.
Yeah, no, I put everything else to the side for the most part to push through on this. And actually, it was my chief of staff, Matt Meck. He has his own podcast with Warren over at Patriot Party News. And so we had a previously scheduled interview of Peter Tickton, who is Tina's lead attorney in her legal group. And so during the interview of Peter Tickton, when he came on the air, knowing that, this interview was happening.
All right, whenever Juan goes out like this, it's usually because he has another call coming in. So he'll be right back. He'll bounce out and bounce right back in. There he is. Okay.
There we go. Yeah, right. Sorry about that. When I get calls, streaming calls, so it's.
All right, well, let's hit the ground running. Let's hit the ground running.
It was during my chief of staff.
Okay.
I'm sorry, say again.
Let's hit the ground running. Let's fire on these points. Your chief of staff, go ahead.
Yeah, Matt Meck was interviewing Peter Tickton when he broke the story and released the news that President Trump had pardoned Tina. Now, the question is, and Colorado has indicated they weren't going to honor a pardon from the president, but Justice Department has looked at this, the president's legal team has looked at this, and they're saying, no, the president can pardon her. So if they want to go to court and try to challenge it, they may try to delay this. That won't be very wise because
how long can they delay this?
Well, hold on a second. If they try to challenge, the question would be, will they release Tina while any legal challenges are happening, or are they just going to hold on to her? So the next moves in the next hours will be epic. And behind the scenes, the whatever contacts, negotiations, etc., everybody's playing close to the vest on that. So we haven't seen if Colorado is going to allow this to happen or fight it. And so these next few hours are going to be red hot.
So are they going to send marshals? Are they going to send marshals over there right now and just bust her out? But it says right here, Trump says he pardoned Tina Peters, but that may not save her from prison. I mean, can she at least get out for now? Would she have to go back to court? How does this play out?
Well, again, if the president's saying he's pardoning her under the 13th Amendment, he's got that authority. These people may want to challenge it. It goes all the way back to Lincoln. And the courts kind of changed direction and started looking at things differently. And so the question is, President Trump actually wants to have this fight because if you get into the Supreme Court like that, he's going to win this fight. So it's a constitutional thing. It was understood the president had the power over the states in this regard. So we may be looking at the opening shots of something much bigger. And again, even the interview that you're going to broadcast tomorrow that we taped earlier, one of the things I noted is that there's a certain date that I believe is when President Trump declares his election emergency. And I think that's at the winter solstice, 21st, 22nd of December, dark to light. So with that in mind, I expect that we're going to see this culminate, whether Colorado wants to have this fight while Tina's out, or they want to have this fight and try to hold her, and Trump sends in federal marshals to
Trump, Juan, where my mind goes with this is that they just got to hold on to her long enough to make her more ill or something to happen to her in prison.
And they've moved her to solitary, and then remember this also, Nina. This is a real important point. A few days ago, it was announced that we were sending in federal investigators to look at the prison conditions and the prisoners' condition in Colorado prisons. Are they in compliance with federal law, federal rules, and how they're handling their prisoners? Because, you know, in reality, Tina is a subject matter witness on Colorado prisoner handling, prison conditions, the stuff that she's gone through. So they're doing this federal investigation, besides the stuff having to do with election stuff. Did you see how I didn't use a word you didn't want me to use?
Yeah, you're awesome. Anyway, yes, I'm training you well, Juanito.
Oh my gosh, the algorithm's not getting me today. Anyway, the short version is that Tina's a subject matter witness who could be interviewed and will be interviewed concerning conditions in the Colorado prisons and her treatment. And, you know, this is part of the reason they threw her back into solitary the other day, is because of these investigations, so she could be protected. Yeah, okay. And so there's drama yet ahead on lots of fronts. They opened a can of worms with Trump.
So I guess my audience is going to ask, okay, he's pardoned her. The doors should swing open and let her out tonight. You're saying that?
Well, and that's why I wanted to do this show right away with you, Nino. Just because people are going to see that, don't presume that that means Tina's out the door standing on the corner with her purse waiting to walk away. Okay? I have people, you know, they want to be here at the prison. They want the ambulance. They want to get her on the plane. They want to. I said, no, you don't know that they're going to let her go. And I guarantee you, she's probably going to have to leave there under some type of a federal escort when the moment comes. That's how serious this situation is.
Gosh, and they might hire someone to take her out, man. I mean, this is going to get crazy, I think.
I don't think that that's the real danger right now. It's been the danger, you know, with these gangs and like that in the prison. You know, she's been attacked several times, threatened.
Yeah, but now, but she has the golden key, her in Venezuela.
Yep. Well, again, hers would complement what's there and would be important. Even there, we have her testimony. It wouldn't benefit any of the bad guys, if you will, to try and stop her at this point in time. But we'll just have to see. And I'm very thankful. By the way, let me just say this real quick, Dino. I am so thankful your audience and all these other audiences. I did 38 hosts, I think, total on shows over the last 30 days talking about this issue. I don't think we would be here right now in the way that we are if it wasn't for people calling the White House, calling the governor's office, calling the prisons system, and letting them know we're watching, okay? The call went out and people responded. I am, you know, very thankful. I know Tina's going to be immensely thankful for this. So I don't think we'd be here right now except for everybody that showed up. And then it's not just like one person, one show, one effort made this happen. It's everybody together and prayer. Prayer changes things. Everybody was praying this through. I'm very thankful to God Almighty that something here has moved and changed and shifted stuff. And I would say that we have a prayers ahead. Now the rest of the fight is Tina needs the space and opportunity to regain her health. And we have to get a baseline and find out what's really going on here and start to nursing her back to health so that she's around for the rest of the fight. And so I'm very thankful. This is a first step in a recovery process that's going to be a while, but everybody here should take a deep breath of satisfaction. You did your jobs fantastically.
Thank you, Juanito, and thank you everyone out there who called. But what in your mind, what happens next? Does she get out tonight? Does she get out tomorrow? Do they stop her? I mean, how long can they hold on to her for?
Well, anything that would happen probably in the courts, literally, if they're going to challenge it, this is going to be before a judge tomorrow. and there's going to be some kind of an emergency decision made very, very quickly because the health matters involved. Again, if Colorado wants to challenge this, the governor should, go ahead and retain the right to go through the courts and challenge what President Trump is doing with the pardon, but release her into some kind of federal custody protection in the meantime, which is all we were asking in the first place. And he said, no, I'm not going to release her to federal prison system or anything like that. So Trump had to raise the bar. Trump said, if they don't release her, I'm going to do something drastic. He said that months ago. Well, here we are. He just did something drastic. And he's issued a pardon, a federal pardon.
She probably has to go straight to the hospital, right? That's how bad her health is right now.
Yeah, we need to get a baseline on what's really going on. They did an X-ray on her lungs several weeks ago, and I don't think we even got the results on that. So the next thing that we need probably a PET scan and some other blood workup. They did something, but we don't even have the results on that, I don't think yet. So we need to just start working the problem, and it's a process, and get her on the path back to being viable. And this is, how long is Colorado going to be able to survive this challenge? Probably not very long, believe me.
So where do you see this going? Where do you see this going?
Well, the other thing is this. Let me just add this. Here's a really important point. I think, is there a safety if Colorado wants to challenge and take days and days and days? Again, as I told your audience previously numerous times, President Trump is going to sign a national election emergency, national security thing into place like he did with COVID. So in the context of a national election emergency declaration, within a day or two of that, he might do it at the same time, but I don't think so. I think he'll gap it by about 2 days. He can then issue his executive order concerning how the election is going to be conducted in 2026, including that we're no machines at all involved anywhere, and redoing the entire voter roll starting from scratch, all those kinds of things. It's going to be epic hand count, paper ballot, counted where cast. Blah, blah, blah.
So I see, like, okay,
well, no, hold on. Let me finish this one thought. So when he does that as a national emergency, he can then take custody of Tina within the context of that national emergency, even if they try to run this through the courts. And I believe that emergency declaration is about 10 days out now. That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. But let's say they say, you know what? No, we're keeping her in here. Imagine the media attention on this. They don't want that either.
Well, maybe they do, and maybe they don't. See, they think they will win this fight with Trump. But they thought they were also going to win the fight and take him off the ballot.
All the media will go down there, all alternative podcasters.
If they decide to keep her behind bars and try to fight the feds, everybody that can within this audience and 38 others and probably another 100 beyond that, plus all the national media that's trying to ignore these issues, and these platform companies that won't let us say certain words and talk about stuff, they're all going to have to cover this. All the main players, you can't even say Tina's name. They won't say a word about this, stuff related to why is she even in jail, et cetera. What's the context? So with that in mind, they're going to have to cover the background issue. They're going to have to change the algorithms to allow us to say certain words to broadcast that. That's what's going to happen. Okay,
wow.
If they want to fight, it's a fight that's going to help us. And again, as I said, in this chess game, when you're able to move a pawn, and Tina's a pawn, all the way across the board, that pawn becomes a queen with more ability to move anywhere on the board at will as any other player. It's the most important piece on the board beyond the king. So Tina will be a queen once she gets out and is free of this, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. She's going to be so valuable in this.
Let's hope we get her healthy one.
So, we're gonna, you know what? Just like prayer and diligence on the part of this office has this part in place right now, and the president has had to step forward on this. Prayer and diligence in that is going to get her through this health thing. I fully believe that we're going to work hard, and she'll be diligent to do the things in, physical world that she has to do. But we're going to pray her through this. We're all going to band together and pray her through this. Okay.
You got it, Juan. Juan, stay with me just a second. All right, folks, please like, share, and subscribe, and also go to thejennifermack.com for Juanito. Help him out. I appreciate his work. If you appreciate Juan's work, buy some of the silver and Magador blankets and jackets and all that good stuff. All right, folks. See you later. Thank you for joining us.
All right.